there. Okay, maybe
Okay.
there's a reason why I've got no attendees is because somehow the lesson's not on the system.
Okay. Maybe I'll just confirm it with Umair, and I'll let you know about this. Okay.
No, that's fine. Who's my TA today?
Your TA would be, I guess, let me check. Your TA, it's
Public
going to be Brandon. It's going to be
Brandon.
Brandon.
Is he a
Yeah.
new one? Okay.
Yeah, he's also a new one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, Harry.
All right, you are now live, and I have also made you host. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Brandon, hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Michael, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. And welcome into my class.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hey, have you recently joined?
This is my first session with you as a TA.
Oh, okay. That's great. So welcome. And I'm going to make you co-host.
Yeah,
right?
thank you so much.
And we don't have many people booked in. So
No problem, no issue. Looking forward for your class.
okay, that's great. Have you ever been onto Pinterest, social media?
No, not exactly.
Okay, well, there we are. This is Pinterest, and it's to introduce people to it. So please feel free to ask questions as well as if you were a participant. All right.
Oh, sure, I will.
Yeah, that's great. It'd be nice to have you interacting. So good luck with your first class. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye. Okay, yeah.
Actually, Michael, this is my first class with you as a TA.
Oh, okay.
I've been working with Get Setup from last week or so.
Right. Okay. Okay. No, that's good. No, that's fine. First class with me. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just going to turn my video on, and oh, we need a background. Goodness. Okay. Let me organize a background here. All the backgrounds have disappeared off Zoom. I can't believe this. Okay. I wonder if we can make that blurred rather. No, that's also not going to. Goodness me, that's interesting. That all my backgrounds have gone off.
Push your background in for you.
Yeah, thanks. Hello, Cassandra. Hey.
How you doing, Michael?
Hey, I'm well, thank you. And how are you?
Hey, can't complain.
That's good. Hey, I like people who don't complain. So, Gloria, how are you?
Good.
Okay, and Gail, how are you?
It's been a good day today.
Oh, why has it been a good day?
We had rain today.
Ah, that's a really, I agree with you there. Okay. So have you been dry before?
Yes.
Okay, okay. And yeah, hello to Janet.
Oh, hello.
Hello, hello. Your voice is very quiet in the background. It's fine. Okay. And hello, Shirley. Nice to see you all. And some of you definitely not for the first time. So, and certainly, Hiroka, hello. You not the first time. It must be about
No, I was doing a farming, following last night lecture. I was planting your seeds.
Okay, okay, that's great. Okay, so it's super to see you all up, and who haven't I greeted? Gloria, have I greeted you? Good morning. Well, it would be good evening with you, of course, depending where you are. Gloria, you there? Okay.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, hello. Nice to have you on board as well. So tell me a little bit about, quickly, I'd like to ask, because Pinterest isn't, this is an introduction course, I'd like to know if some of you have had experience on Pinterest, whether you've been on it or whether you've never been on it, whether you have an account or don't. So maybe we start with Cassandra. Your mic is off, Cassandra. Your mic is off, Cassandra. Okay.
I usually go on there and look at the recipes at Pinterest, and that's about it. You know, I really don't know how to use it. I know how to get to the recipes and everything, but I like to learn how to really use Pinterest.
Okay, that's good. Then this class, I'm sure, will help you. And hello, Gloria, welcome. Okay. Okay, Gail, tell me why you're here.
Well, I set up a Pinterest account, maybe 5 years ago, but then never used it. So now I want to find out all about it.
Okay, and I'm sure you won't stop using it now after this. Okay, so it's a lovely app. It really is. And Janet, why are you in the Pinterest class?
I'm like everybody else. I set up a Pinterest account and pinned some stuff to it, but navigating it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So.
Okay, that's great. Are you logged in twice, Janet? I see there's another.
Oh, this is a different Janet.
Oh, is that a different Janet? Okay, so different Janet. We'll have to call you.
I'm pretty new to Pinterest.
Sorry, I missed that.
I'm pretty new to Pinterest. I've looked around a little bit, but haven't done too much.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, and who haven't we asked now? Come on, I've lost track after having two Janets there. Shirley, I think you haven't told us why you're here.
I'm kind of like Gail and Janet. I've had an account for several years, but I've looked at it, but I really don't know how to navigate it or how to really find things I want or pin anything. So.
Okay. And I see we've got two Gails, but just spelled differently. So Gail. Why are you here? Gail Wilkes. Okay. And Gloria, tell us.
Just like everyone else, I've looked at Pinterest, but that's about all I do with it right now.
Okay, that's great. All right, you will see in class we have got Brendan from Get Set Up. You'll see him on there on the participants list. He's a technical and teacher's assistant and technical support. So if you have any issues with anything that is on your microphone, your video, or if there's a background noise coming from behind you, let's say in your house, and you don't mute yourself, then he'll mute you. He just controls it. He also controls questions. So, in a small class like this, it's not a problem. But when you have 30 people in a class, then one tends to need somebody just to line up the questions. Otherwise, the whole class is just questions. And all right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to work first of all through some slides, and this is important for the newcomers that don't know about Pinterest or just heard it. So we'll just the slide will help us just how to get onto, because you need an account to get onto Pinterest, and if you're getting onto Pinterest now, then you do have an account. All right. So you might not know it, or you might have been set up by somebody else, one of your children, but you can't get onto Pinterest. It asks you just to register. So, all right, to start going, my name is Michael Plumstead, and I live in Perth in Western Australia, and the time has just gone 7 a.m. in the morning. And I guess you probably, depending where you are, I never asked any of you where you were, but you're probably about 7 p.m. Are you? Unless you're in California.
This is Cassandra. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and it's 7:10 in the evening.
Okay, right, 7 p.m. Thank you. Anybody else that's not in that same area, perhaps in a different time zone? Okay, all right. So you're all about to go to bed when you finish this, or go to supper, have supper anyway. Anyway, so that's who I am. You see on your screen. I assume you can see the slides. Just nod your head or say yes or something. Okay, that's great. All right. Always got to make sure that you can see the slides. Okay. Feel free to just ask a question straight away. Because it's such a lovely, cozy, small class, you won't disturb anybody. So if you have a question as we go through, please just ask the question. Okay, so the agenda today, although we'll be covering what is on the agenda, listening to your comments, some of you that have been on Pinterest quite a long time, been doing certain functions, I'd like to take you a little bit deeper and show you other functions as well. So we'll cover more than what's on the agenda. And that's what's important, for in the beginning of a class, I find is to find out what the attendees want and what they've arrived for. And I think guides generally in Get Set Up do that. So, all right. So first of all, the benefits of Pinterest. And I'm sure a lot of newcomers wonder why I should use Pinterest. And I hope by the end of the class, because we're going to go live onto Pinterest on my computer, and we will then find out what the story is about, okay, and why. So first of all, it's as you can see on your screen, it's a visual engine for finding ideas. Like one of the attendees now this morning said they go there for recipes, okay, but you can go for any sort of inspiration at all. I use it as a when I was a businessman, and in business, I used it to find different aspects of business that I wanted to get to know more about, and maybe build up even training for my employees. I wanted certain aspects. I would come to Pinterest, create a board, and put the various different boards, even whole boards, but also pins that go onto those boards. And you'll see what I mean at the moment. So it's a great place to search for things that you are interested in. So very important. Right. So to create an account, you go to Pinterest.com, and you click it immediately. It won't allow you in, so it'll show you straight away where to log in or to open an account, and you would do that, and you would get a screen similar to this, and it'll ask you simple questions and show you simple pictures as well, like those pictures that you see now. The reason it's showing you some pictures is so it's trying to get the artificial intelligence in Pinterest to know which way you're heading. So just to start, because Pinterest suggests and suggests and suggests ideas for you based on your previous behavior. So when you open an account, you don't have a previous behavior. So now this would be the start of that. So you can click them all, or you can click one of them, okay? You look at them, and you can see they're all different categories totally, you know, from meals to makeup, okay, from home decor to women's fashion. So there's a whole big broad category that Pinterest just wants to know from you a little bit about that. And making the most of Pinterest, we're going to show you live on that in the class now. But you would be fundamentally searching most of your time on Pinterest, and saving pins, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Pinterest used that phrase, but it's like, you know, in the days when I guess most of us grew up in, we used to have a digital, not a digital, but we used to have a scrapbook, okay? And we used to put things in a scrapbook, tear out from magazines and things like that. This is a digital scrapbook, okay? And a lot more effective and efficient than a book. And you can make certain things secret, and I'll show you that. And you can add other people to collaborate with you on a particular aspect or on a board of your account as well, and I'll show you that. So here we are just within Pinterest. What we're going to do now is I'm just going to call up the Pinterest account, okay, and you can see Pinterest.com. It does go .au because it recognizes me as coming from Australia, okay? So, but you do get to see everybody's. You don't get to see just the local, okay? But where it wants to, where the AI wants to give you something, it'll give preference if it's in the Australian. In your case, North American, probably. But you can see the world, if you like. Okay, so this is now an account, if you like, and this is I'm now live on my own account on Pinterest, and so your account would look just like this, okay? And before I go, I want to show you how to now create a board. You're on your account. You're now in Pinterest, and for the first time, and you did a signing up process, as you saw on the slides I've just shown you, and hopefully, or you don't necessarily, if you've put in a profile picture, otherwise your initials will show up here in the picture, or your name, whichever you've given permission for, and then, but it'll still look, the whole screen will look just like you see here. It will look differently. I'm on a desktop, I'm on a computer. If you're looking on a tablet or on a phone, obviously they can't put all this information onto one screen. So then you go searching for the information with drop-down arrows and 3 dots and the word more and things like that, okay? And you will find it. So don't expect your screen to look like this. It will look like this if you're on a computer, okay? So first of all, we want to create a board, okay? So these are boards down here, okay? Boards are topics, or you can call them folders, okay, that you put things in to store for your future benefit, but also for other people who are searching similar information, who will come and search on your boards as well. And so let's see how we create a board. You see this plus sign here on the right of the screen. You click on that and it asks you, do you want to make a pin? And it's suggesting you might have something on your computer, in this case, bringing it up onto Pinterest, okay? Or do you want to create a board on Pinterest? And we click create a board. And then this menu comes up, if you like, or screen comes up, and you click on it and you decide to give it a name. And you say, fine, okay, that's fine. Now, this is where you can decide to keep the board secret, okay? You would click that and it turns black with a tick in it. It's then secret, okay? So only if it's secret, only you and your collaborators would see that particular board, okay? So now we've given it a name and we click create, okay? And okay, it says your board could not be saved. Try a different board name. Okay, I've got a link to this one. Okay, so let's call it something else just for the sake of this. Okay, well, let's call it ABC and see if they will allow us to create. There we are. We've created a board called ABC. All right, for the sake of this class. But my goodness, the artificial intelligence immediately finds things to link to the word ABC, okay? But it's now suggesting, and it will always do this when you create a new board, it will make suggestions of what you think, what it thinks you could add to this. Any one of these, now you only get this chance once, and that's when you open a board, it comes up with these suggestions. So, you know, all you do is you put your cursor over it and you see the word save comes up. You can click the board in anywhere and it's now saved to ABC on the top left. You can see that, okay? And you can do these with any of them, okay? And there it's saved to ABC, that one, okay? So, and you can go on and you can do plenty of them. There's a scroll down screen. You can, if you've got very young grandchildren, this would really, you know, perhaps be some fun that you can get ideas for of things to do with your grandchildren. And my wife does a class with grannies doing things with their children as well, their grandchildren. So, all right, so we've now chosen, and you can now click done on the bottom right-hand side, and now we've got a board. Okay, so you've created your first board. So to summarize, you've created an account, you've gone into your account now, and you've created your first board or another board if you already have an account. Okay, and you have options up here, the 3 dots. If you click on them, you can now edit the board, perhaps give it another name or whatever you want to do. But there you can edit the board. You can share the board with various people, and we'll share some a little later in this class. We can say, this board really is the same as my other board. Maybe I should merge the 2 boards, and you can do that. And the 2 boards, this will just become then a subsection of that particular board. Or you can archive it for some future use when nobody sees it in its archive. You can unarchive it, but people can't see it. So it's like temporary off the seed. Okay, so that's starting a board and creating a board. Do you have any questions about opening an account and having a board for the first time? Okay. Okay, that's super. Brendan, there's nothing from your side there either. All right, then let's continue on. Now, we can, if you want to go back to your own board, you just click on your profile picture and it'll take you back to your own board. And now the next thing I want to show you is, because the most important thing is finding the information. That's why you've come on here. Okay, you've now got a board to save information to, but you need to find that information, and you need to. And a good place, the various places you're going to show you, but the starting place is the home on the top left-hand corner. You click on the home. Now, the artificial intelligence in Pinterest again will suggest things that are in line with the activity that you, so one of you have been on it 5 years, you know, even if it's 5 years ago activity, it'll still remember that. And so it'll show you things that you were interested in and make suggestions that you save these or pin them to your board. Okay, so now you can scroll down and you see all sorts of pictures or images that other people have put up, and every time your cursor goes over one of them, Pinterest says, do you want to save this? Okay, and then you've got a drop down menu to decide which of your boards you want to save it in. Okay, you say, fine, you know, I'll save it in our new ABC board, and it's now saved to ABC. So that picture is now on your board. It's there, and we'll go and find it just now. And so, yeah, you keep scrolling down, and you look to see what it is that you must always ask yourself with Pinterest is, why am I on Pinterest? Okay, you must answer that question for yourself. Okay, and 9 times out of 10, it's about a particular interest or a hobby or a product. Okay, or wanting to learn how to do something, like market something. So you must be clear in your own mind what you're looking at. I mean, you can start off just with fun, and you can call your board my fun board. Okay, and you can scroll down and find fun things that you know, oh, growing apples. Now, you know, that appeals to me because I've got a board that's about growing, and I do a class on microgreens. So we say, I'd like to save that. Okay, let's have a look. Let's just click save, and we carry on, and we go down, and okay, so weather sensory, the ultimate guide to organizing your business. Yeah, maybe that's a good one there, because I can save it. See, it's already understands that this could go to my business planning one. It makes the suggestion. But what I want to do is actually just click on the image. Now it's interesting because the image has been impregnated, if you like, with the URL, their business website. Okay, so it's gone off Pinterest and it's now in their particular website, on their website. So you can imagine that Pinterest is very popular with business people. Okay, so it's clicking on that has taken us off, I'm just going to click and see what that one does. That also takes us off. So wherever you click on it, it takes you off. So there are this person is clearly has paid a professional. There is a premium Pinterest where you can do business on Pinterest, and I accept those aspects because a lot of people want to do business, and your visit to Pinterest is free. Okay, you don't have to pay to open an account. You just have to open an account. Okay, but I want to actually show you something else. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. I didn't want to go off-site. And so if you normally, when you click on the icon or click on the name of the person that did the post, you get taken to the actual post itself. Okay, and that's what we've done here. And so now we can read before we want to save it as a pin. We can read what it says here. And if you're a gout sufferer, you know, then you would be very interested in this. And historically, I used to be 20 years ago that I solved it. So, but this would be typically what I would have clicked on, you know, 20 years ago. And I don't know, you might know your children particularly suffering from gout, and you might want to give them some information. And there are things you can do. So here we can follow here by clicking. You'll see. I'm going to click, let's just save it to our ABC, because then I can delete the board after the class. Okay. Then we click on follow. Immediately the word changes to following. Now you are following this person. Okay. You haven't saved it to your pin. Okay, this is the difference in Pinterest. Okay, you can save, you can pin something to your board, and you can also just follow them and get what's coming from them as far as future posts are concerned. Pinterest will let you know that this person has now posted something else that is relevant to you. But if you wanted to pin it, you would obviously come up to the top here where we already pinned a board. Okay, and there is a website. They've put their website here, and you could click on this and go off Pinterest to their website, as we've done with the previous one. Okay, and we can also we've found they're calling themselves patients. Okay, and this is their home board, okay, that we've just decided to follow. We could go and look at this before we follow it, okay, and we could go through and let's see, it's got a few, it's got a lot of followers, okay, and a tremendous number of viewers. So gout seems to be a major problem, okay, even gout in dogs I see here. So clearly just this person focuses on gout, okay, and that's into they probably sell a product, and I'm sure if we went off site we'd find the product that they are selling. Now if you want to stop following somebody, okay, this is one place where you can stop following. There are other places you can just click following and it turns to red again, and you are no longer following them. All right, so we go back to the home page. That's where we were. That's where we were picking up these from. Okay. So now we've learned how to follow somebody without pinning them. We've learned to pin them to a particular board, and we've learned to go off Pinterest now to their website. Okay. Now, next to the home is different devices, especially small devices. You might have difficulty in finding this today. It's just another place for searching and finding people to follow or to pin the images, okay? And it's just, they call it daily inspiration. And so you, again, any one of these, so, you know, you could click on and you know, Baker's Choice, you could click on, and now you immediately go to their particular board within that, and it's got subboards as well. Okay, so you can also create subboards. Okay, almost like what would you call it? Like a menu. If you've got a board, then you could have subboards that, and here's a typical example, okay, is that, you know, you're going to do baking and you could do this type of baking, that type of, and they could all be subboards with underneath that, okay. But I'll show you one in a moment. I just want to go now. This is where it's the following. These are the people that you will be following, okay. And you might not have saved them to the board. Remember, you don't have to say, don't have to pin, you just follow them, okay. So each time I put my cursor over any one of these, it wants me to pin it to a board, okay, and it suggests which board I should pin it to, okay. So according to my interest and character. So, but I am following them. There's definitely a benefit of pinning it, because pinning it is like storing that now. If you want to use that information, and you move forward. Now, I'm going to show you something. You can search for anything you like, but I just want to try. Last class, I had an attendee in the class, and that was her name, okay. And now, of course, there's a whole lot of people by that name. All right, she definitely wasn't into dogs, so okay, maybe it was that one, okay. Yeah, I think I've possibly hit it right, okay. Those are all her boards, okay. So she has plenty boards. Now, she showed us in the chat, I'm not 100% sure it is this lady, but anyway, we're going to have a look, and let's just click on school. Yeah, okay, quite right. So you can create boards within boards, okay, and they're called subboards, and you can then follow a subboard, if you like, as opposed to following the whole board by clicking on the three dots at the top there, okay. And you could follow that board, and you can also share that board. If you click on share, you can now share anything onto social media. You can email it to somebody. You can copy the link so that you can paste it somewhere else. I know I'm getting into quite a lot of detail, but it's really simple when you start practicing it and using it. You'll have, yes, I remember. But here you can do it. But basically, you want to, first of all, open your boards. You want to pin things to the boards. You want to follow other people. So that's the beginning. But you can start then sharing and emailing and reaching outside of Pinterest with the links that you have created. But likewise, under the searches, you know, you can search for business ideas for women, okay, and that's a whole category on its own, okay. You're exploring, but there's also obviously a shop that you can go and buy things on, and sell things as well. So you scroll down, and 22 small business ideas for women in 2020. I need to update it, and so you can search for anything you like, okay, you know, business ideas for women, you know, DIY products. So there's just no end to what you could be searching for on Pinterest. And believe me, if you have an interest, then try and dig down deeply into that interest. You know, don't just put, for example, gardening, okay, because you know, you're going to get masses of things, variety of gardening things. Okay, so if you are specifically interested in an aspect of gardening, let's say, I don't know, I'm just taking it random. I haven't taken this one before. There we are. We said gardening indoors. Okay, then there we are. Gardening indoors for beginners, for people in apartments. Okay, so yeah, you can grow in pots, and you know, if you only 2 of you in the home or 1 of you in the home, you can certainly grow your vegetables in pots. You know, any suggestions of what I should search for? Microgreen recipes. There we are. All right, so that's where you would search for everything that you can click for videos as well. Okay, and but anyway, there's nothing you can't search for. Just, now to the right of the search is a little bell, and as on many social media platforms, you will get your updates on what's happening on everybody you're connected to. Okay, and you know, some of them you might have been following, some of them you might have pinned something, and so you will find out what those people are up to, and it's a good place to go to have a look to see that you're not missing out on anything, because you're following those people or you've pinned something. So you might well decide that you know, from the update, you just click on the picture and it takes you then to the latest posting there, hillside landscaping, fall vegetable gardening, and other topics you might love. Okay, now you'll see underneath the topics, it's encouraging you to follow them. Okay, and so all you have to do is take the fruit garden at the bottom, you click it, and it changes from follow to following, and now you're following them. Okay? And you can click again, and you're not following them anymore. Okay, so that came from the bell and the updates, and you would spend a fair amount of time, you know, looking here, because you want to know what's been happening in areas that you've previously selected as being of interest to you. Okay, and so you would find that. Then to the right of that, you can send out emails to people. You can click on somebody and then let it come up, and you could now, oh, sorry, I clicked on the side there. Okay, so we've clicked on Don Jones. Okay, I'm actually not right at that. I take back what I said, because I want to know. Let's just see. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted. It's my inbox. So why did it go to? Let's just choose somebody else and have a look at. Let's take somebody at random down here. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, it's on the bottom of the page. I actually missed it down there. Okay, so your conversation is actually just off screen at the moment, where you would click and you would start typing. Okay, I can't actually, or can I pick up the screen a little bit? No, I can't. But anyway, I'd have to find a solution for that for the next class. But you can see the blue line coming in up down there. That's where you need to be in order to send them a message. Okay, now I want to go to the right of my picture, the very right hand side. You see that drop down arrow there. Okay, now you can add as many accounts as you want to, okay? And that's really more for business people. You'll have one personal account and lots of boards and lots of sub boards, but you might want to open in your business name and start using this to attract customers to being aware of your product, okay? And you can there, if you want to go into the paid version, you can click Unlock Business Tools. But what I want to show you here is you go down to More Options and you click on Settings. And now your profile comes up and you can now edit what you see here, okay? You know, your names. You have a username if you'd like. I use my first name and surname together as a username, and so people can search with your username as well as your ordinary name. Okay. Then on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see account settings. You can go in there and change your account setting. And here is interesting: the home feed tuner. Okay. Now, remember up here on the left, at your home, your Pinterest home, you can edit and certain things that you want or don't want. Okay, so you know, you can look at it from a point of your boards. Okay, you don't want anything coming up there. Let's say from the board that we just created, we'll do that. Okay, and we've got a board here that is a secret board, so we won't. So you can turn off the AI looking at these boards to suggest things for your home searching. Okay, and that comes in handy when you want to be specific. You've actually arrived and you want to go just looking at growing own food and health. So that's what you can do. You can also look at topics. Okay, tune your home feed. Your home feed is based on your boards, topics, browsing history, and the creator profiles you follow. Edit your preferences to improve your feed. Okay, now, you know, you can, organic garden is certainly one of my main top. Fermenting of food used to be, and no longer now, and because I know it and I just do it for myself, and I do fermenting with kombucha, so I could quite easily just click remove the fermenting one, so those topics won't show anymore in my home feed. I know I'm getting into a lot of detail. We're covering just about everything, but I hope you're not getting confused as newcomers. And of course, you then are also following various profiles, and you can see the people, all the images of their companies. Okay, and you decide now not to follow those anymore. Same thing, you would just click on following, and bang, you're not following them anymore, and they won't show. Well, yeah, you're not following them anymore, but they won't show up on your home page. So that's how you fine tune your home page to not get. Otherwise, you could be inundated with masses of suggestions from the artificial intelligence, and you think, well, yeah, okay, but this is where you go to. Okay, so remember that was under settings. Okay, and we went down there, drop down, we went to settings, and under settings was tune your own home feed, and you can see other things, but we went there on there, and coming back to where we clicked on home feed was there. So yeah, there are other aspects that you can look for your security and your privacy, although in Pinterest that is not a big issue like it is on Facebook perhaps. All right, so are there any questions? We're getting towards the end of the class that I had planned for you, but there might still be some things that are bothering you. Or would you like to clarify? Any questions? You can unmute your microphones, please, and just ask the questions. And Brendan, if you've got any questions that I haven't seen.
I just want to know up to how many boards can one create, beyond which you may have to pay fees. I already have like a 30, and that's bit concerned about if I keep on adding boards.
Yeah, you can. I haven't seen in any of my research and writing and experience on Pinterest a limit, but I'm sure somewhere in the small print there's probably a limit. And if I had to guess, it would be 100. Okay, but I'm only guessing that, but I don't know. Okay, but you can carry on. I mean, as Karen Woodard, she had. Oh, there was a lot. Were you not in the class, Hiroko, when Woodard showed her boards? She shared her board. Not.
No.
Yeah. No. Okay, but it's many. Okay, it wouldn't be a concern. Okay, and also you don't want to get to a lot of boards. You want to get to sub boards. That's what you want to do. You want to get to sub boards. So to have a board that's a broad. Like there, I've got a thing that says Coffee with Michael. My intention with that, which has only just started recently, was to bring various topics of mine under that board, and then I'd have subboards based on those topics. Okay, and so that's the best way to work. It's more organized for you, and those subboards act like a menu. Okay, so if you've got a gardening one, then you could have subboards about various aspects of gardening. So I would urge you to go that route, or suggest possibly that's the better route to go, rather than more and more boards. Because remember, the boards are there for your interests, and you might have a product to sell, you might have a service to sell, but you still are doing it for yourself. Okay, and people then resonate with what you are doing, and then they follow you. Okay, or they pin something that you've pinned, but if they resonated, they'd probably follow you in whole. Okay, and so they'll follow whatever you post, and that's an important. So if you've got 100 boards, and I would suggest that you probably you're not going to get more business by having more boards. Okay. And you saw that with gout. This now, when we went onto that gout one, it was just one board. It was to the point, and there were 4 topics under gout, if you remember. Okay, so I think for me that was a very effective commercial board. Okay, and it didn't smell of being commercial. It wasn't obviously commercial, because I clicked on the icon, it took me to that profile page, and that profile page had those 4 boards on it. So that's the way to use it as far as commercial side. But on a personal side, you have lots of interests. You could have a board for every interest. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing, but I'm not necessarily running away. Okay, that was the one we went to, and that's the last slide that comes up. I'm going to send you an email, and just with the takeaways that you have. But I strongly recommend you experiment while it's still fresh in your mind now. Okay. As soon as you wake up tomorrow morning, although some of you 7 in the evenings, you could do it this evening, and look at playing around with those things that are still fresh in your mind. Okay. So, are there any questions, suggestions, any experience you've had that you'd like to share, that you've had on Pinterest that might be of value to the class?
I don't know if this would be of value, but as I said, I used it 5 years ago and found out I was spending too much time on it. But it may be because I was not organized enough.
Okay. 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 Thanks for sharing. Thank you. Anybody else wants to share? Are any of you now going to go into Pinterest and start looking at it and developing it?
Mhm.
Okay, all of you. That's great. All right. I can't see the two Janets, so I don't know if they're going to or not. I can't see any wind blowing in the trees, so I'm not sure. Okay.
Jan, I'm going to use it. Actually, I was using it while I was listening to you.
Oh, great. Okay, that's super. Thanks, Janet. That's great. I think for any of us at our sort of stage in life, we've got interests, okay, and we've even got, you know, maybe businesses that we're doing as a second career, and this is a place you go and search and you file things away for use, maybe tomorrow, maybe next month, maybe even next year, but you know you're going to use that information. Where else can you file away information like this? Okay, I'm not aware. So it really is a lovely electronic scrapbook. Good description of it. All right. Any other questions? Brendan, are there any other questions?
Nah, all good from my side.
Oh, great. And yeah, and Brendan, thanks also for being in the class. I really appreciate it. Okay.
No problem, Michael.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, then I'm going to say goodbye, good evening. Okay. You can say good morning if you like. Bye-bye. Thanks. See you in another
Bye,
class.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay.